Day 7 of the trial of James Craig. He's on trial for murdering his wife using potassium cyanide and tetrahydrozoline, 5Z eye drops. Yeah. So, day 7 of the testimony, we're going to get into some more of his cellmates' testimony and some ex-lovers. Not the same one we heard from yesterday. Nope. But you got to listen to the intro first. Welcome back. I'm still out of town. Well, I'm in town, just in a different location, working the ball games at night. We actually had a winning night. Yes. All right, let's talk about the trial of James Craig. But before we do, if you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button, it helps more people see this video. And please consider subscribing so you don't miss a single episode. You also want to hit that notification bell. Hit all. Yeah. Okay. So the first person on the stand, this is Wednesday's testimony. I'm a day behind. So the first person on the stand was Casey Bohannon. He had been on the stand on Tuesday evening, and he just needed to have his cross-examination done by the defense. So as you may recall, he was, if you made it to the end of the video, he was a cellmate. He was in there for a misdemeanor, and he was solicited by James Craig to plant forged journal pages somewhere in the home, maybe in the garage, maybe in the car. This guy opted out. He was given a map of the house, where the cameras were, what the alarm was, the layout of the house. He tore it up, flushed down the toilet. So the defense asked him, didn't you have a probation violation coming up? And he's like, well, probably. I know what I did was wrong and it wasn't on my probation. But he said he did not benefit at all from his testimony. In any case, so next one is a nurse, Michael Fody. He took care of Angela Craig on the day that she crashed, which was March 15th of 2023, where we think she was given an additional dose of cyanide while she was in the hospital from her husband, James Craig, who was alone with her in the room. So this guy comes in. He said it was chaotic. This woman was so sick, really in poor condition, already been declared brain dead. He went at 8:20 that night and drew blood, and a cyanide level was done on that sample, and it came back twice the normal limit of that. So then we got Nathaniel Harris. Who doesn't know Nathaniel Harris? Like, this name sounds so familiar. Okay, he is a current inmate, and he had a lot to say. He has someone he calls his wife, who really isn't his wife. It's somebody he corresponds with. Her name is Loretta. He calls her his wife. He has what he calls an ex-wife. Her name is Cassie. Um, their names are important, trust me. Okay, so apparently Loretta convinced him he needed to come testify to do the morally correct thing. So that's why he was there. He was cellmates with James Craig in November. This is very important. In November of 2024, because if you'll recall, his first trial, or this trial, was first set at the end of 2024, but in November of 2024, this same time period, he's in the cell with this witness, Nathaniel Harris. His attorney resigns from the case. He was asked to do something morally repugnant, and we're going to find out what that was through this witness. So this guy, he knew that James Craig was in jail for allegedly murdering his wife, and James told him that they were alleging that he assisted with her suicide. So he told the roommate that James Craig told the roommate that his wife was suicidal and that he had been ordering the poisons for her. And he was very interested in this guy's past. He said he followed me around like a puppy dog. um, and then he wanted him to find someone to take care of an inmate in the medical unit who he had already tried to solicit to get him to help, but the guy had said no, so he wanted someone to take care of that guy. Apparently this guy in the medical unit, he had asked him to fabricate evidence for him. Now that might be the guy we've already heard from, Casey Bohannon, I'm not sure. So Harris's wife, apparently he's bragging that his ex-wife, Cassie, had fabricated documents and photos in his past case. So now James Craig is really interested, and he said he was trying to find someone to fabricate stories that supported his conduct and would point investigators into a different direction. So he gives Harris a letter to give to his wife, an 11-page letter, give to his wife. She got upset. She's like, no, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want to be involved. Apparently, James Craig liked to talk about the lead detective, Bobby Olson, a lot. So said that this officer was out to get him and that she was lying on him and wanted to find someone that would take care of Bobby Olson. And he figured this guy is the guy to do it. You know, it seemed like this is the guy that would do it. So, and he kept bugging this guy about it. The guy finally says, okay, I'll do it, just to get him off his back. And he was afraid that if he didn't say he would do it, he would go get someone else to do it. So he said, okay, I'll do it. And James Craig said, well, you know, there's a blank check involved. So James Craig also wanted him to help take care of a sheriff deputy who had been really mean to him. And he wanted someone to go take photographs of the sheriff deputy's son as he's getting off the bus to intimidate the sheriff deputy. All this right before the trial. He said, I want all this done right before the trial, the end of 2024. Can we get all this accomplished? So on cross-examination, this guy Harris said that he had spent over 10 years in prison. We don't know what it was for, but I believe it was probably drug-related. He told his wife, Loretta, he had information he was going to use for his benefit. And then he says, well, so what you knew, what you had was pretty valuable to the prosecutors. And he said, if it was that valuable, would I be sitting here in handcuffs? I mean, fair point, I guess. So apparently he said he was offered a deal by the prosecutors that didn't work for him, but he's still on the stand because Loretta asked him to do the morally correct thing. So he was there because of his morals. Then we hear from Sergeant Nicholas Hudson, which I believe is the sheriff deputy who James Craig wanted intimidated. He works for the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Department, and he's in charge of transportation, coordinating transportation. But back in November of 2024, he was working the graveyard shift when he was contacted by Loretta, the wife of Harris, the current inmate. And she was saying, listen, there's a letter in my husband's belongings, and you need to go in and get that letter. He says, all right, so that's on the 9th. So 2 days later, he gets some people, and they go in there, and the guys are looking for illicit substances. They're going to go in the cell, and they're going to look for this letter. They find an 11-page letter hidden in Harris's belongings. They almost didn't find it. It was so well hidden. They find it, and it's in a legal envelope addressed to his attorney. So apparently what he was trying to do is get Harris to give that letter to his ex-wife to give to his attorney. And he actually did send another letter to the ex-wife separately. But this one was for the attorney. And we're going to get to what the contents of that letter was. Yeah. The next person on the stand is Cassie, the ex-wife. She said, "We're still married. We're still married. We're not divorced yet. But I'm working on it." So clearly he's not married to Loretta. And she says he's got a drug problem and he has a problem with telling the truth. But she said she received a letter from Jimmy. And when she did, she was actually on the phone with the lead investigator, Bobby Olson. And when she goes to retrieve the mail, she pulls the mail out and there's this letter. And she starts to open it, and Olson's like, "No, no, no, don't open it." So they take the letter, and I don't know what was in that letter. I don't think they said. So let's talk about what was in this 11-page letter. I'm going to read some of it to you, not the whole thing. So apparently he has written out roles each person should play, parts. He wanted to have her, well, I'll let him explain because this is weird. "Hey, Cassie, I know you don't know me, and I don't know you. I would never normally be this trusting, but I have been unjustly accused of a truly horrible crime, thus fighting fire with fire to clear my name and return me to my kids. Favor I'm asking of you, there will be, of course, a financial incentive, but I know you do not need my money, but it's worth it to me, so I'd like to offer you $20,000 to each witness." And he's got like 4 or 5 witnesses he's want her to procure. "I'd like for you to be one of the witnesses and your sister. After I pay you, you can pay the others in accordance to what you feel is appropriate. I can pay you once I'm out and my assets are unfrozen. My attorney is Harvey Steinberg, who I think you know, but I think it might be best if you went directly to the DA to execute this plan. First, someone in jail set me up. I wrote letters to his family and friends offering to pay them. Instead of sending them to his family and friends, he sent them to the DA in an effort to negotiate his own case. I also want to give you latitude in these stories. Nate has expressed tremendous confidence in you. I would rather you do not I'd rather you do what seems natural to you instead of sticking rigidly to a plan I devised. Nate also said you go above and beyond using Photoshop. These additional proofs may be necessary to effectively sell your story. You essentially have, within reason, a blank check here. I think now is a good time to share with you several details about my wife, Angela." This is an 11-page letter. So here is the roles. He provides phone numbers, dates of birth, addresses, and Facebook for their joint account. Then he says, "Role 1, this one is for you." This is Cassie's role. "You are a friend of Ange's. How you met and how far back your friendship goes is up to you. You know, because Ange confided in you about the threat of suicide. The next part is crucial. The worst, dirtiest detective in the world on my case. Her name is Bobby Olson. We have to discredit her. I need you to say that after Ange died, you reached out to ABD, the Aurora Police Department, to share the above details. You told her," what's the rest of it? "You told her this whole story. When you finished, Detective Olson berated you, and she didn't believe you, accused you of lying, and told you to keep quiet. Obviously, you need to refuse to communicate with Olson. If no one else will listen to you, go to the media." That's all roll number one. Roll number two, for your sister, I hope. Also, go to the DA. Your sister used to visit family history library that Ange volunteered at. Often there was nobody there except your sister and Ange, so they became casual friends. If you're worried about the DA linking you to your sister, you can use a fake name. Make sure Harvey can contact you both after your statements made into discovery. His attorney, Harvey. Harvey will need to call you as a defense witness. Rule number three, someone who can say they were either there with your sister at the family library, or even better, if the third person can collaborate your story, if your sister feels comfortably incorporated more of the details from your own into her story, the better. And then there's a rule number four. Go to Harvey about this, not the DA. Now, Harvey is this lawyer that quit on him over all of this. This person is either a friend or somehow overheard Caitlin Romero, my former office manager. She's about 25 years old, plump, pretty face. Caitlin was recently heard bragging that she had been subpoenaed. It sounded like she fabricated evidence or testimony, something about the search history at work, and also about how she ordered the cyanide that killed Ange. Now he's trying to set up office worker. He's trying to tamper with absolutely everything in this case. Then we get roll number four. Oh, that was roll number four. Okay, so, and they gave her a huge financial incentive to help them. Okay, so this is why his attorney resigned. Morally repugnant. I would, because when they found this letter, it was in a manila envelope and it was addressed to his attorney. Okay, then we're going to go back to James Craig's love life. Two women that he met on Seeking.com. Now, Seeking is a place where you can sign up as a woman for someone to take care of you, a sugar daddy. And he did. He met this woman in the fall of 2022. They have a nice dinner over in Loveland at the Bonefish Grill, and then they end up at her hotel. In the meantime, he's finding, and she said they met up several times in exchange for sex. I don't know if that's like part of, I don't understand how that works. Never been a kept woman. So he gave her money and resources. $9,000 Honda Accord, $100 each for each child, and he paid for all their meals, all their hotel stays. He actually wanted the daughter to sign a contract saying she would make good grades. Apparently that car wasn't for mom, it was for her daughter. She's a mom, she's a Lyft driver, probably doesn't have two nickels to rub together, wants to get a divorce. He's like, I'll help you. He paid the retainer for her divorce attorney anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000. Told her he was separated, but he didn't know how to get a divorce, even though he just paid the retainer for her to get a divorce. They were making plans in the future. They were going to get married. They were talking about this movie called The Purge. And apparently in this movie, for one day, everybody gets to kill anybody they want, and they get away with it. And she's like, who would you kill? And he's like, I'd kill my ex-wife, or I'd kill Angela Craig. Not ex-wife, but I'd kill Angela Craig. And he says, I can do it, and I know how to get away with it. And he just stab her in the neck with a substance. What? And during their relationship, he never mentioned that Angela Craig was suicidal. So let's talk about their text messages between them. Hey, so big problem. And this is the end of 2022, beginning of 2023. Hey, so big problem. Ange found the Doubletree Hotel receipt, discovered missing money I used to pay for your daughter's car. I told her that we met on Seeking, but that I'm not sleeping with you. I just really wanted to help you out with your situation. I got you a hotel to stay in because you didn't have anywhere to sleep. Told her I bought your daughter the car and the hotel to get you out of dangerous situation you were in. I'm going to have to go radio silent for a while, and if you do get a call, know you know what I told her. Now you know what I told her. So he's on this website just to help out women. Doesn't want anything from them, just helping them out. I think I need to sign up for this website. But he ends their relationship February 18th. This is like the week before he's going to go to this conference and meet this other woman, Karen Kane, the orthodontist from Texas. Then the next woman he meets on Seeking, well, the next woman to testify, he met this woman in October of 2022. Wait a minute, what? So he met her and this Carrie woman right around the same time. Oh, goodness gracious. She was living in Colorado. They decided they would take a trip to Montana together. He paid for the plane tickets. He paid for the Airbnb. He bought her an iPhone. He'd send her money through Venmo. He was talking about they were going to go to Paris. But she said their relationship tapered off in January of 2023. Here's what she didn't like about him. His constant needy texting. This guy, I don't know, something's off with him. Well, there's a lot of things off with him, but, you know, this would explain the 4,000 texts to Karen Kane. He's just constantly texting. Who does that remind you of? Karen Reed. She was always texting her boyfriend. All day long they were texting. That's just weird. Anyway, he offered her an allowance to buy sex things. They had planned to go to New York City. That didn't happen. Anyway, that was the end of the testimony on day 5, 6, 7, day 7 of this case. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to make sure you get caught up this weekend. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.